This is Assignment 2, the Underground Railroad. Although it was not an actual railroad, it is believed that with the help of abolitionists, between 30,000 and 40,000 enslaved people escaped to Ontario. The narratives that I am reading are from people who escaped slavery and settled in various parts of Ontario. St. Catharines, Ontario. The first narrative that I'm reading is from Harriet Tubman. She was one of the most famous conductors on the Underground Railroad. She kept going back to help more people escape, and at one time there was a bounty on her for $20,000. In her words, "I never lost a passenger." Harriet Tubman returned to the United States once slavery had been abolished there. Harriet Tubman. I grew up like a neglected weed, ignorant of liberty, having no experience of it. Then I was not happy or contented. Every time I saw a white man, I was afraid of being carried away. I had 2 sisters carried away in a chain gang. One of them left 2 children. We were always uneasy. Now I've been free, I know what a dreadful condition slavery is. I have seen hundreds of escaped slaves, but I never saw one who was willing to go back and be a slave. I have no opportunity to see my friends in my native land. We would rather stay in our native land if we could be as free there as we are here. I think slavery is the next thing to hell. If a person would send another into bondage, he would, it appears to me, be bad enough to send him into hell if he could. Now, Toronto, Ontario. This narrative is from James W. Sumler. Arrived in Canada March 3, 1855. I came from Norfolk, Virginia. Was in bondage 26 years. I was not sent to school, never. My first master and mistress gave me no religious instruction at all, nor any other. I learned to read. The way was, I hid in a hayloft on Sunday, and got the younger white children to teach me. I bought the book with the 9 pence that a man gave me for holding his horse. My master was a Methodist. I used to get his horse ready and hold him when master was going to meeting, but he never asked me to go. At 12 years, my first master died, and I was hired out. I was put to work in a lumber yard. I generally had enough to eat, but was sometimes short for clothes. My second master and mistress never gave me any instruction about God and Christ and the Bible. They used to object to my going to meetings. It was nothing but come and go. They were Methodists. I was never punished very severely, but I have seen servants of the same family punished in various ways. I have seen them tied down, stripped bare, and struck with the paddle bored with auger holes, until they couldn't walk straight. This was because they did not perform the tasks assigned them. I consider the tasks given them were such they could not perform them. I have seen them tied up and whipped until the blood ran down to the ground. I have seen a man, Alex Smith, so badly whipped with the cobble and cowhide that he could not lie down anyway. The use of brine after whipping is very common. After I got to years of maturity and saw the white people sitting in the shade while I worked in the sun, I thought I would like to be my own man. The first that started me was, they sold my brother down south, and I have not seen him since. I thought my chance would come next, and so I put out. A white man, a Baptist, used to preach to us. The white people took the communion in the morning and we took it in the evening. The minister used to tell us not to be disorderly on taking the sacrament. I thought he was disorderly himself, for he kept slaves. I left home at 2 p.m. and walked a very considerable distance. Then I saw fit to remain concealed 9 months. Meanwhile, I was advertised, and a reward of $200 was offered for me. On seeing this, I felt somewhat troubled in mind. At last I started, but I had to run back to my hiding place. A second time, I got very near a place where I would have been safe, but I was pursued and had again to put back. A third time, I was successful. I enjoy myself here more than I did in slavery. I believe that liberty is the true and proper state for the colored man and for every man. I came here with nothing. I think I can make a living here, and am disposed to try. I left slavery with the expectations that I would have to work, and I am glad to get work. I look upon slavery as a wrong, and as a curse upon the masters. I do not believe that there is any religion in the masters. The slaves are not religious in consequence of slavery. They often have impediments in the way of their going to meetings. I believe that the slaveholders know that they are guilty in holding slaves. If the slaves were all set at liberty, I think it would be better for the slaves and for the slaveholders too. The abolitionists have helped me a great deal. Now, London, Ontario. This narrative is from Mrs. Frances Henderson. I was born of a slave mother in Washington, D.C., and was raised in that city. I was to be set free at the age of 30. When my old mistress died, I was sold for the balance of the time to an Irish woman. When I first went there, I was the only slave they had ever owned. They owned afterwards a man, a woman, and a male child. The man went out to get someone to buy him. He left word at the grocery. The grocer was not particular to report the one who would purchase him to the old man by himself, but let on before the folks. This provoked the Irishman and his wife, and as the old man was taking out ashes from an ash hole, the master went down, and as the slave raised his head, the man struck him about the temple with a long-handled scrubbing brush. The old man never spoke afterwards. I saw the blow struck. The old man died the next morning. An inquest was held. I was afraid and told the jurymen I knew nothing about it. The white girl said the boss wasn't at home. She swore a false oath and tried to make it out that the old man fell and hit his head against the bake oven door. The man was bound over not to put his hand on a servant any more. Mistress used to pinch pieces out of the boy's ears, and then heal them with burnt alum. She dared not to do much to me, as my former owners were in the city and would not suffer barbarity. Her husband was under bonds of $2,000 to treat me well, but she treated the others so badly that some of my friends told me I had better leave. Was there, then, with some persons who were going to travel north with him, and I joined them and came away. I like liberty, and if Washington were a free country, I would like to go back there. My parents were there. There are so many congressmen there that the slaves are not treated so badly as in other parts. That is the end. Thank you.